What's going on? What's up, man? I'm back again. I've been pretty consistent with these lives the last week and a half or two. Sorry. I appreciate everybody coming through. I appreciate y'all checking out the show, tuning in. Give it a like, give it a subscribe. Everybody who is new over here, if you're new, you already know that you should probably subscribe, like the video, share the video, all those good things. If not,
hit the like button and subscribe.
hit the like button and subscribe. I appreciate it. No, I haven't. I haven't watched too many videos today. I just really got back a couple of hours ago. I've been cutting grass all day. Make sure y'all answer the poll that I have in the chat. Also, make sure y'all answer the poll that you can see on the screen. All you got to do is type 1 in the chat for yes, type 2 in the chat for no, and the stats will populate immediately, and we'll be able to see where everybody's at. And the question that I have on the screen, I asked, are Ben Crump and Al Sharpton just nothing more than race hustlers at this point? Luis Velasquez says yes. All you got to do is just type 1. If you put yes 1, it's not going to show up. There you go. Glenn Horn put 1. White student put 1. The one I started and stopped last night I told you about. I don't even know what you're talking about. I forgot already. It's irrelevant right now. But yes, make sure you answer the poll. We want to talk about these race hustlers because Al Sharpton and Ben Crump have now entered the building. So we know that things are just going to take a crazy, well, an even more crazy turn than they already have. We already know that. We know where things are headed at this point. If you weren't confused now, then you definitely will be confused here momentarily. Okay? So just buckle up, strap in, because they're really going to confuse you because they're going to make it more emotional and make it more race, involved. Which, I mean, race can play a small part in this, but it's like it'll cloud your judgment when trying to go over the facts. And y'all saw last night, we seen a clip that showed, well, it said that the phone was found in the boat. And now the mom on this interview is coming out and saying, no, the kids gave her the phone. And no, there were like, she thinks that it was maybe Snapchats or something like that deleted. So it's just like, and that's why I said last night, it's hard for me to even really talk about this one, even though I kind of want to, but I really don't. It's because everything is all over the place. I mean, they talking about what happened to the kid, and we haven't even had an autopsy yet. The parents are going to have their own independent autopsy, but we don't have no information as far as an autopsy is concerned. We don't know who really had the phone, if the phone was found on the boat, or if the phone was given back to the parents from the kids. The mom said it was, so I'm more inclined to believe her. But I mean, when you getting all of these conflicting stories, it's like, what the hell? Whoever is reading this, oh, okay, got you. Glenn says, been that way since they started, man. What's up, Glenn? Say, I'm doing well. Say, they don't confuse me, they talk a lot. Well, I'm confused because the things that I've been reading is all over the place. I don't know, like I said about the phone situation, I don't know who had the phone. You know, they trying to say that it was an argument on that one clip that they showed all of the kids supposedly in the water or on shore. I seen the same video that somebody was talking about. It was an argument. They paused the video and circled some people that was in the water and said that was Nolan and his friends. And then I seen another video, the same video, where somebody paused the video and they circled some people on the shore and said that was Nolan and his friends. I was like, bro, that's why I said, if you're not confused now, you will be confused in a minute. You will be. I don't know what to tell you. Growing up in the country in rural Georgia in the early 70s, I've been where it is. Heck, the mayor was a member of the KKK. I'm pretty sure this is the South. Some parts the deep South they consider, because they really don't consider Texas the deep South, even though I do. But they don't have to make it. I think a lot of people want to be our ancestors. They want to have been former slaves. They want to have grown up in the Jim Crow segregated South so bad. It's like you don't live in those times now. Stop it. I get it. We know how things used to be, but you aren't living in those times now. What's up, Ambitions? A lot of assumptions, unwilling to give the phone to police. Unwilling to get a phone to police to actually figure out what happened doesn't sound like they really want to. Yeah, I heard that she hasn't given. Well, the officer said that they haven't given, they haven't gotten the phone from the parents. So I don't know, man. Texas is deep south, no matter how they swing it. That's what I agree with you, bro. I just hear so many people constantly saying that we're not the South. I know you seen that one viral picture that went viral where they showed the whole South, all the states in the South, and somebody like circled all of the other states except Texas, and they said like this is the real South. I was like, okay, I guess we didn't have slavery, Jim Crow. We didn't have those things down here. Even though I've seen pictures of lynchings and all of that in museums, it's like, okay, I guess we're not, but whatever. We go ahead and play the. Also, yeah, once again, make sure y'all answer the poll that's in the chat, and make sure y'all answer the poll that is on the screen. I can't tell how many people have voted so far, but so far, 100% say yes. Let me go ahead and play this interview that was on Good Morning America with Ben Crump and the family.
Extremely tough it must be, and we can express our how sorry we are for you and your family. And first question, how are you two holding up?
Taking it second by second.
Day by day.
Second by second and day by day, which we all can understand. And I just want to ask you, the friends that Nolan traveled to Horn Island with, they say that he stayed behind voluntarily. Why would he stay behind?
That we cannot answer. I can't fathom why he would. Like,
I don't know why he would. We always taught him to, if you go with a group, you stay with a group. Mm-hmm. Even when he was in college, he would say, Dad, well, we're going to ride down to a party or something in another city. Now, so I always tell him, look, if you go with 5, you come back with 5. Do not separate from your group. Because I always say safety is in numbers. Mm-hmm. And he always said, yes, sir. So he knew to stay with his group. So why would he split from his group? I don't know.
So that would have been unusual for him to split from the group. Yeah. And you said he would always check in with you. Did he check in with you that day?
So that day, no, I don't. But of course, too, they were on the boat. And usually when he is out there, which it's not uncommon, he's, I think, since last year, he's been going there occasionally with his friends. And so it would always just be like, hey, Mom, I'm back, type of thing. But this time there was no call.
What's up, Doc?
Or text from him. It was from his friend.
And then, too, really didn't worry a lot about it because, it was his last weekend to have fun.
Yeah.
Because that Monday he had to report to school. We was preparing to take him back for camp to prepare for the season. So, we're gonna see. He wanted to have his last little hurrah before he locked down and get ready for the season. Because, like I said, the entire summer he's training. He got more serious. He started to understand what I was trying to tell him about. Football not just being fun, but as you get farther in it, it becomes a business. If you want to excel, and you have to understand, and you have to understand both at the same time.
And we know, Ben, that you said that you're going to do an independent investigation.
Yes.
And you said you have Nolan's cell phone and messages were deleted. How could you tell messages were deleted?
Well, his parents got the phone back, and that's something that's important, Michael, because they tracked this phone on Life 360.
So Life 360, but when I received the phone call from Warren, I immediately called my friend Tashima, and I said, hey, have you guys seen Nolan? Because her 2 sons, Jalen and Javon, they grew up together. They played City League sports together. When they got into school, they played sports together. And so she was like, hey, okay, the boys were pulling up the location from Snapchat. So the Snapchat location looks completely different than the Life 360 location. So when I pulled up Life 360, it was different. It was showing everywhere the phone had been. I was like, well, it's showing that he's back on land. I'm not. He's like, but no, he didn't come back with us.
Well, how were you able to get the phone?
So we tracked it, and my friend Tashima went and picked it up.
It wasn't like they said we got his phone. They tracked it, and that highlights all these contradictions, Michael. The fact that
You see what I'm saying? They tracked the phone and got it from one of these people, but y'all clearly seen that news outlets say that the phone was found on the boat. This is why I say I'm so confused. It's hard for me to even really give my honest opinion. It's because the information is all over the place. That's why I'm talking about it, but I'm gonna stop with all of the speculation. Like, for real, like, I'm done speculating. I mean, we can talk about it and kind of have a little bit of back and forth, but as far as me trying to say, oh, this person did something or somebody is lying, I don't know.
They said Nolan was talking to a young woman, and she said that he said, I'm going back to get on the boat with the boys. The boys said that he said he was going to stay with her. And so that's an obvious contradiction. And then this video of this, you can hear an argument going where Nolan is saying, give me my freaking phone. What are you freaking doing? And so then his phone ends up missing. I don't know any teenagers, Michael Strahan, who says if you...
Now, am I missing something once again? On that clip that they said that you could hear somebody arguing, I could make out that somebody was arguing, but it was very, very, very hard for me to decipher what was said. Like, am I tripping? Did y'all see that same video? Was it hard for y'all to decipher, or could you honestly hear exactly what he said? Because I couldn't. Like, I honestly couldn't.
Believe their story. I'm gonna stay behind and I'm gonna leave my phone. I mean, no young person leaves their cell phone. And so then there's so many things their parents were telling us about. Even why didn't his body wash up with the tide on Sunday? Why would it come on Monday? It's not adding up. And that is the problem when you think about the history of Mississippi.
Yeah, so there are so many questions that need to be answered. And is there anything you'd like people to know about Nolan? What would you like them to know about your son?
No,
It's okay.
Nolan, take your time. Nolan was very loving. He was liked by all. It was not a friend that he couldn't make.
No, we'll be right back with more for the parents of Nolan Wells and attorney Ben Crump. We're back now on GMA with the parents of Nolan Wells, Christina and Elmore Wansley. And I want you to please...
That is strange, though, that they have a different last name to him. I noticed that too, but I mean, I don't have an explanation for it. I don't know what to even say to that. I don't know how that's possible.
Continue to tell us what you want the world to know about your son.
So Nolan was just like this bright light, right? Walk into a room, his smile, his energy was just so infectious. Like it's almost like he drew you into him. And he was just one of those people, like he always wanted everyone to be included. He didn't want anyone to feel left out. I remember one of his teachers emailing us. I can't remember what grade he was in, but basically it was math class. They had a special needs student, and she asked a question, and Nolan got everyone to put their hands down because he wanted that student to answer. And so student answers the question, and she was like, Christine, the classroom, Nolan went crazy, and everyone else started going crazy, just celebrating that child. Making them feel included. And that was the person he was. Like he loved everyone. And I always told Nolan, like, you have to be careful when you have such a big heart like that. I love that God blessed you with that, but you have to be careful with that because that it's not always returned, that type of love. But
And I agree with you there, because if anybody reserves the right to kind of jump to conclusions or be suspicious of what happened, it's really the parents, the family. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Al Sharpton and Ben Crump, they're only there to perpetuate this whole race thing. They're not really as invested as we are. What's up, Lala? They're not as invested as we are. They just aren't. They can act like they are, but they're not. We know for a fact that Ben Crump is an ambulance chaser because he's never around before anything happens. He only shows up when your ass is in the ground. That's the only time he shows up. if you up and walking and you upright, he very rarely shows up.
He was just genuinely a good person. Like I always say, all the best parts of me are with him.
And Dad, anything else you want to add?
It's just, he's gonna be really missed. I know a lot of his teammates, they all look to him as a leader. He's more like a silent leader. Not real big on words, more on action, which is kind of like I was. I really was.
Man, y'all get the likes up, man. Come on now. We got 9 likes, you say, and 102 watching. A like is free. A like is free. That's nothing.
Wasn't real big on talking. I really wanted to show you, and you follow me, and people followed him, and it's gravitated. He put in the work. He worked hard, and he knew he was focused on what he wanted, and he wanted to make life better for, his family. He wanted to have his own family. He used to say, "Dad, I want to do this. I want to do this. I want to."
If you liked it, I
That's what
appreciate
You
it.
got to take it one step at a time. Slow down. Let's go. Let's walk this thing out. Let's train. Let's sign our deals. Let's make these teams, make these camps, put the work in, and everything else will work out. Even his baby brother, their bond got even stronger because now I have a big brother that he's finna do something. So now I want to outdo that. So his focus and his confidence has got even better. So I was looking forward to both of them having outstanding years.
Seasons,
It seemed like
yeah.
it-
I don't know, Jason. We haven't even had the autopsy yet. We don't know whether he drowned or if it was foul play. We don't know. I mean, obviously, I guess, yeah, he drowned. But we don't, they're going to check for bruising and, it's other things that they can tell if he was drowned or if he was swimming and, went too far out of something and just drowned, just took on too much water. I think they can tell from the autopsy. But as far as like what exactly happened, we don't know, bro. It might end up coming back that he may have been assaulted and they threw him. It's all kind of, we don't know. We just don't know. We don't know, bro.
inspired in the home and he inspired
Absolutely.
outside of the home. And Attorney Crump, where do we go from here? What's next?
Well, the deleted messages that Christina was going to
So-
briefly touch on, we want to
Yeah,
get
so
the phone
to
and figure that out.
Backtrack on that. When we finally got his phone, me and my sister went through the phone. We went in his Snapchat. He had 2 accounts, absolutely nothing. It wasn't even 24 hours, which is how long videos and pictures stay in Snapchat. And I was just like, that can't be. Like, I've seen Nolan whenever he snaps, like when he goes and he's having fun, like he does videos. Like, there was absolutely nothing, no saved videos. And even my sister was like, yeah, that's suspicious,
Michael, we having an independent.
Yes, you say you don't believe that they murderers and they racist, go in the woods with unless if you come out. Like, how I think the only reason that people is coming to that conclusion is because it was a majority white and like 1 black kid. Like, you can't, I get it. Like, I get it. I'll tell you, like I said on the other show, it does seem slightly suspicious. But that's just me or that's just you. Like, we can't be saying this stuff for it like it's a fact. Like, that's what really happened. And I'm not gonna, I can kind of think that, but I'm not gonna be like, oh yeah, they had to kill him. They were racist. Like, I'm not gonna say that. You're not gonna hear me say that. Like, I reserve the right to wait for more of the facts and the details to come out from legitimate sources, not from hearsay, not from speculators. Like, I need the real facts. That's why I said I'm not going to get into a lot of the details because nobody has all of the details.
And the autopsy done at the behest of his family. Colin Kaepernick helped pay for the independent autopsy. We flew his body up from Mississippi to D.C. because they wanted an autopsy done by a person with no interaction with the Mississippi law enforcement, because there's an issue of trust here that is really important. And the fact that they keep trying to say, well, suggesting it was a drowning, but nobody out there reported him drowning, it's not adding up, Michael Strahan. It is not adding up.
And honestly, we are doing this because at the end of the day, I would hope any parent would fight for their kids to find out if anything happened, what did happen. So we just want honesty and transparency. We want a thorough investigation. We want that same respect that would be given to anybody else, and that's it. We just want answers.
Well, we really appreciate all of you being here. We hope you get the answers that you deserve to have, and we hope you get the closure that you need. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mike.
So there you have it. I mean, that was from the parents, from their perspective. You know, a little bit of Ben Crump, the race hustler. Like I say, man, him and Al Sharpton, they only show up at these times when it's time to embellish and to get everybody in fear of race. Oh, this white person hates you. This black person didn't do anything wrong. And, you know, all of this BS. But just like somebody pointed out in chat, and I had already pulled this up, Al Sharpton is one of these people who is known to have actually lied about cases like this before. Let me show y'all this for those of y'all who don't know about the whole Tawana Brawley incident.
My name is Tawana Brawley. All right. I'm not a liar and I'm not crazy.
It was 1987. Tawana Brawley was a 15-year-old who claimed she was raped by 6 white men in law enforcement. And Al Sharpton took up her cause. But there was no forensic evidence of any sexual attack, and there was evidence Tawana made up the whole story. The case, labeled a hoax, was dismissed, and Sharpton was forced to pay $65,000 to those he had named. But in all this time, he has never voiced any regret. You have...
Now, ain't that all you need to know? If it don't fit their narrative, he ain't gonna admit to it. They just gonna kind of be like Homer Simpson in the bushes and just disappear. And resurrect later, at a later date. And just like you said, Dark Kent, Ben Crump didn't show up for Carmelo Anthony. You see what I'm saying? Where was Ben Crump? You would think that would be one of the cases that he would jump on. He didn't show up.
gone back and looked at things with such a clear eye. You've apologized, you've asked for forgiveness, except on Tawana Brawley. I don't get it.
I'll be honest with you. I have thought about that a million times. I just don't believe they treated that case fair.
If I knew that I had in any way contributed to falsely accusing someone, I think I would feel an obligation to say.
If they a white girl falsely accused 3 black boys, what would Al Sharpton be saying? I digress.
I'm sorry.
I think you're right. I think the operative word is if you knew that. I don't know that.
If they didn't do
But
it,
but suppose they
you're
did.
taking the,
Suppose they did.
but they didn't. They didn't.
You can't reason with unreasonable people. You cannot reason with unreasonable people. This is why sometimes when I have these conversations with people and I can tell there's no way that I'm going to change your mind, I quit trying to change their mind. I quit trying to give people the facts. I just let them say whatever it is they're going to say. Hey, you got it. Whatever. Whatever. You remember, and this is no offense to, what was his name? Yeller, who was over here yesterday. And I give him credit because he eventually was like, once I told him that the whole cleat sharpener thing with the Carmelo Anthony case was BS, I showed him the evidence that they showed was really a pocket knife and that cleat sharpeners don't exist. He was like, okay. But most people to this day still hang on the fact that it was a cleat sharpener, and it's like, I've looked it up. They said cleat sharpeners don't exist. You don't even sharpen cleats. You unscrew them and replace them with a tool. So once you realize that, it's like a lot of people have already made up their mind. And then people we know don't like to change their mind. If I get some new information and I'm wrong, y'all know I'll come on here and tell you I'm wrong, or I'll make a post on my YouTube community. I'll say I was wrong about that. But you know, a lot of people won't do that. A lot of people won't say, I got that information wrong. I misspoke. Oh, I'm sorry. You right. Those are the people that you shouldn't trust, because they'll lie to you every time. They'll lie to you every time. See, you can come on here and say I'm wrong, and I'll be like, no, I'm right. And then I get off the live and pull something up, and you'll be right. I'll come on here and say I was wrong and you was right. I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with that at all. But you see Al Sharpton, he couldn't admit to that. You say Al Sharpton has lived his life in the service of black people, whether he has been wrong in the past. But you're not going to hold him accountable. You see what I'm saying? You just like, well, he's been wrong. But right then and there, he wouldn't even admit that he was wrong. But y'all are still believing. Y'all are still fall in line. This is the same dude who led everybody through Costco. Instead of showing people maybe a directory for black businesses, or maybe you could spend your money in some black area. Isn't he in Harlem? Isn't he in the Harlem, New York area, wherever? He took y'all to Costco. And nobody had a problem with that. Anyway. This is Al Sharpton, Ben Crump, and the family at the National Action Network. They had a press conference about this case. I'm going to play y'all his comments. But before we do that, man, make sure y'all hit the like button. Those of y'all who are in there, it's 110 people watching. If you like the video, hit the like button. I mean, that's anonymous. You may not like me or like what I'm saying, but if you're watching the video, just hit the like button. Like, come on now. Also, answer the poll that you see on the screen, and also answer the poll that is in the chat. In the chat, I asked, are you a subscriber to the channel? 86% of the people that are watching are subscribers. I appreciate that. 14% say no. I appreciate you as well. If you feel like you enjoy the content, then eventually go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe to the channel as well. Charles says, I think that in search of information that we forget that everyone is not credible and that this is the freaking internet. Of course. And that's why I say I'm not going to like start diving into all of the facts or so-called facts of the case, because things have changed. I don't like that. I don't like it at all. And I'm going to go ahead and tell y'all something right now. Some of y'all's comments I'm not seeing on the program that I'm using. And I just clicked back over to my YouTube studio and I'm seeing some other comments that I don't see on my side. So if I don't see your comment, just don't feel like I'm ignoring you, because I'm only seeing certain ones. I don't know if they're getting filtered out or what. But let me play this clip.
Let me say at the outset that when I received the word of what happened to Nolan and began hearing what was pieced together, it is clear that this situation must have the most thorough and objective investigation to lead to justice. What we've been told does not make sense. And being that there is lack of confidence in the local authorities, who have already, in my judgment, seemed to mishandle where it was going. Because to just immediately, before a week time, saying there was nothing done wrong, when we hear that this young man was engaged in some kind of argument that was on tape, that his cell phone and keys ended up with one of the people that were there on the island and got away. He was one black with 3 young white men who happened to end up with his phone, happened to end up with his keys.
He's implying, see, he threw the racism stuff in there. Now, if he had just stuck with the facts about how he felt about the police department, cool, I'll give him that. I'll give him that. But then he goes straight to there was 3 white boys, 1 white kid. That's internet shit, bro. That's blogger shit. That's outside world people, you know, on the outside. The people who are supposed to be representing somebody or who are in law enforcement and they shouldn't be speculating like that.
There's just too many questions that they should not be closing the investigation. Now, I'm from Brooklyn, so I'm a little different than some of y'all. I was built different. My nose is out here, my eyes are here, my brain is here, which means...
So I guess because he was up north and we down south, we all goofies. I guess because he was up north and we down south, we all goofies. We don't understand that dynamic.
Some things I could smell before I could see and before I can figure out. This does not smell right. So some people are saying, Reverend, are y'all bringing in race? Well, we're not bringing in race, but we're not discounting race either, because we don't know what it is. So to tell us don't rush to judgment saying it was racist is fine. But then I'm telling you, don't rush to judgment saying it was not racism. Because we do not know. We do know what these parents are being told and what the parents have now shared with us does not make sense. How do you end up a young, promising football player, not in trouble, mother and daddy at home, everything we tell them to do and be. They go on the 4th of July, on the anniversary of this country, going to an island, outing with his friends. And
that according to these same people, they don't even care about July the 4th. Why are we celebrating that? I wasn't free. Remember Al Sharpton said that? I wasn't free. Our people wasn't free. Bro.
The friends come back and he's left there with some story about he said leave them behind. But then by some magic, one of the friends has his keys and his phone. Mind you, his mother tracked down the phone. They didn't voluntarily tell her they had his phone. They didn't voluntarily say they had the keys. So if they'd not been tracked down, we don't know if they ever would have known where it was. Some of this doesn't make sense. So we are absolutely in National Action Network and other groups going to rally behind this family. I have told them.
Bro, of course, a lot of this don't make sense because the facts are all over the place. People's opinions are all over the place. Hearsay is all over the place. I don't know what's real. I don't know who lying. I don't know who making something up. I don't know what's what. You got the internet sleuths that's out here breaking down clips and coming up with whole scenarios and statements that were said in videos. And it's like, I've watched that video so many times. I could hear somebody arguing. I'll give y'all that. But to say that he was like, give me my phone, I need my, whatever he said, somebody's phone, like, I couldn't hear that. I heard something for a slight second, but I didn't hear anything about a phone. All of this is crazy. It's just, these people are race hustlers, bro. I'm sorry. At the end of the day, Al Sharpton is a race hustler. Ben Crump is a race hustler and an ambulance chaser. And in the beginning, the mom actually said that she wanted to leave it to law enforcement. And then the next day she pop up, she got Al Sharpton and Ben Crump. It's like, what the hell's going on? Like me, if I was in their situation, this is just me. Maybe other black people, I would not, I don't want Ben Crump around me. I don't want Al Sharpton around me. Go give me some other lawyers that don't nobody know. I need the truth. I need to understand what really, I don't need speculation and we think it was this and that. I don't want to hear that shit. Say Al Sharpton is an opportunist. He is. Say the I'm from Brooklyn statement is idiotic, but what do you expect from Al Ozempic Sharpton? Nah, that's a fact. Just because we talk slow don't mean we think slow. David says, is it the end of his game? He won't be around much longer and he won't be remembered. Al Sharpton is just, he's somebody, I'm still confused as to why so many people love to talk about Al Sharpton. How is he still as prominent as he is? He doesn't do anything. You say my stepdad from Massachusetts, he told me a long time ago, most Northerners hate Southerners. I've encountered some, and the way they talk is as if we just dumbasses. Like we just fools down here. So he isn't speculating. The picture shows 4 whites and 1 black. I'm not saying he's speculating about who was there. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about their whole conclusion. Like, how are they coming to these conclusions without all of the evidence? Like, we don't know that. What if it was 4 black kids and 1 white kid? Could you just, y'all wouldn't like it if they just jumped to the conclusion, was like, oh, they killed that white boy. Every black person would be up in arms like, man, how can they say that? How can they think that? Just because it was 4 blacks and 1 white. Some black people, man, the white boy probably did something to them. And that's why they had to, if they did something to him, that's why they had to do it. I know it. This is crazy. Yes, make sure y'all like it and share it. Dee Dee, who's back, I haven't seen this person in a while, says, yeah, sellouts want to hear Officer Tatum automatically defend white people and vilify black people, and he is always wrong, but he would not take accountability for anything that he says. But y'all don't say anything about all of the black folks who automatically take the side of black folks and be wrong, and they are wrong a lot, and I mean a whole hell of a lot. I could pinpoint so many things about the Carmelo case that black folks were saying that was wrong. And once the evidence came out, y'all niggas didn't say a word. Y'all niggas didn't show up on no live streams. Y'all didn't show up on no post. Y'all just disappeared. Tell me I'm lying. The day the video dropped, the pictures dropped, y'all niggas was gone. Before that, it was cleat sharpeners and jump-ins and racial this and racial that. And when the evidence came out, Dee Dee wasn't over here saying, oh, I was wrong. None of these. I see I'm getting worked up. I'm not going to get worked up. I'm not going to get worked up. Because I can feel it. 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 They just disappeared, man. Now I'm a fool. Oh, man. Oh, man. What's up, Angela? Oh, man. You said you absolutely never thought that Carmelo Anthony was innocent, and you said from day one that he wasn't going to get off. Well, I don't remember you saying that over here. If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong, but I never heard you say that over here. Maybe something I missed. Sound like I've been a fool.
That whatever we can and need to do, we will do it because this smacks of some of the worst fears that we've had historically, not only in Mississippi, but in this country. And we are there until the end with them. I've been asked by the family to be in Mississippi for the funeral to officiate, which I'm going to do. We
Officiate?
just got off the phone.
What is going on? Man, I'm telling you, this stuff is to bring more attention. It's to bring in a certain group of people. Al Sharpton is going to be officiating the funeral. I wouldn't be surprised if Obama showed up. All of these politicians all of a sudden showed up. Now, this is me. If I was the parent, I wouldn't want any of these people there. I want his legitimate friends there, his legitimate family, and anybody else who's close to him. I'm not finna turn my child's funeral into a spectacle for the sake of some agenda that y'all got. That's right, it's a race-baiting distraction. This is crazy, man. And I know so many people don't like that I say this. You cannot be reasonable because people don't like that. Once again, they want you to fall to one side or the other. You cannot be a person who takes the facts and is able to change your mind or say I was wrong or I was right, or to say, I think this happened and I'm being unbiased, or whatever the case may be. People don't like that. I got to either say, no, this was all white guys and they killed him, and we know that for a fact. I don't need to know. I don't need to know no autopsy report. I don't need to know no paperwork. I don't need to talk to anybody. I seen the photo and then I saw the video. They killed him. They killed him. They killed him. They killed him. Period. Appreciate the super chat. Appreciate that. Anybody else want a super chat? Feel free.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
Appreciate you so much, Lunatic. He says you can always trust federal agents. Not. More three-letter agency agents creating division. All centralized systems are failed. That's his line. That's his line. But hey, I don't think you could trust if you can't trust the agencies, then you damn sure can't trust these race hustles, bro. They pushing just as much division as the three-letter agencies are. Hell, even more. Even more. And once again, I appreciate the super chat. David says, I'm glad confused why Sharpton is there. The investigation seems to be in play in the autopsy. Why would you make arrangements for another autopsy sheets before you get results of first? The only thing about that, David, now I agree with you, but at the same right, I feel like if that was me, I would also want to do my own independent autopsy as well. I think that they should do their own independent autopsy. You know what I'm saying? Even if it was somebody in your family, I feel like you should have someone do an independent autopsy as well. Just, if you don't trust the situation like the family does, then it would be in your best interest to get an independent autopsy. I don't really see an issue with that. I don't personally see an issue with that. Just like I don't see an issue with the kids lawyering up. Maybe they did something, maybe they didn't. But since everybody is speculating that they did do something, why not lawyer up? That's just a smart thing to do. I don't like that. Doesn't even really bother me as much as it has bothered so many others. Let them lawyer up. Lala say, I'm looking forward to getting older. This makes me doubt it. Lunatic says Al Sharpton is look, I already, man, I could play another clip about that where they caught him on tape. I got the video. They got Al Sharpton on tape selling drugs. And he's an informant for the government. But yet people still parade him out to eulogize funerals and officiate funerals and do speeches. And it's just like, and then the whole Toronto Brawley, it's like, what are we doing?
Tyler Perry, the actor who says he wants to help cover whatever expenses for the funeral. We have with us Spike Lee is in the house. Many of our people that have always supported families are there. This is not about them trying to raise money. We're going to take care of that. This is about though they got
Appreciate you, Frankie D.
forward. But we want justice and let the chips fall where they may. If it ends up being one way that we suspect was wrong, fine. But if it's another way,
that's a lie. That's a lie. If it comes out that it was truly an accident and these kids had nothing to do with it, you know what's going to happen to Ben Crump? Like I said, he's going to turn into Homer Simpson and just ease back into the trees. He's not going to come out and give no statement and say, well, you know, we were wrong about this case and the family. You know, I hate that they lost their son. And I want to apologize to the other family when we thought that they... None of that's going to happen. All of a sudden, it's just going to be silence and the story is just going to disappear. It's just going to... Bye-bye. No more Al Sharpton. No more Ben Crump. What did those people do to Carmelo after the trial? What did his mom and them and the lawyer, the representatives who represented him? Like what was the guy named Dominique? Before he was sentenced, they were gone. They heard he was guilty. Bye. They heard he was guilty and they dipped. They just left. They just left. Ben Crump started out as an injury lawyer. How and when did he become? I didn't even know he was just an injury lawyer. It makes sense though. Say, bro, please play the video of Al Sharpton moving, waiting. I don't mean a buffet. You've never seen the video of Al Sharpton? You really haven't? Let me find it for those of y'all who haven't seen it. Oh, God. Let me make sure I got the right video. I mean, they got him talking undercover. Yeah, this is it. Oh, God. Y'all ready?
Good evening to you. I'm Christine Johnson.
And welcome, everyone. I'm Maurice Dubois. Those stories are straight ahead. But first, after all these years, the Reverend Al Sharpton admits he was an FBI informant.
Yes, he says that he was the cat that got the rats. But others say that Sharpton's secret life was not by choice. CBS 2 political reporter Marsha Kramer.
Hold on, wait a minute. I gotta play something for you. Hang on.
Damn. It's a bunch of bull. Yeah, it is.
As the story.
Michelle Obama probably never knew that one of the guests at her recent White House 50th birthday party was an FBI mafia informant who helped bring down members of the Genovese crime family. Reverend Al Sharpton.
You say, Lala, you say his parents didn't leave him? Go look it up. Go look it up, Lala. I'm not making it up. His mom, she spoke during the sentencing, but she left. Go look it up.
Now a confidant of both the First Lady and the President, and of Mayor Bill de Blasio, has his own unique take on his days as the government's confidential informant number 7.
in my own mine. I was not an informant. I was cooperating with investigations.
The revelation kicks off his National Action Network convention this week with de Blasio and President Obama the headliners. But de Blasio, who calls Sharpton family, is sticking by his buddy.
Doesn't change the relationship one bit. I'm very proud to be his friend. I think he has done a lot of good for the city of New York and for this country. I have the exact same positive view of him I had before.
Sharpton has been dogged for years by reports that he was an FBI informant, helping the government go after boxing promoter Don King and music executives. Now we learn he also went after mobsters, including the legendary Vincent the Chin Gigante, the so-called Oddfather who paraded around in his bathrobe at his pajamas. So he has ducked and dodged questions about whether he wore a wire for the feds. That wasn't possible today since a batch of government documents were made public.
The conversations were recorded.
And there's also the issue of how he became an informant. Some say he was pressured into
Here it is,
after he was
Goldie.
caught in a drug sting. This HBO undercover sting video that aired in 2002 shows Sharpton with a cowboy hat pulled down over his bouffant hairdo. Sharpton appears to nod when an agent offers him a cut from future drug sales. But now Sharpton claims he went to the feds for protection from threats from mob-connected music executives and was asked to rat
He said he went to the feds. Let's rewind it. Listen, listen.
Sting. This HBO undercover sting video that aired in 2002 shows Sharpton with a cowboy hat pulled down over his bouffant hairdo. Sharpton appears to nod when an agent offers him a cut from future drug sales. But now Sharpton claims he went to the feds for protection from threats from mob-connected music executives and was asked to rat out the bad guys.
They were threatening to kill me.
And while the feds say his information helped bring down guys like Gigante, Sharpton says he didn't know how his information was being used.
I have never met any of these guys. The guy with the pajamas, I don't walk around with guys that walk outside pajamas. I never met these guys.
Well, Sharpton says he's not embarrassed by anything that he did. What he is embarrassed about, he says, is how, quote, fat he used to be now that he has reinvented himself as a skinny guy. By the way, sources say the mayor will cut the ribbon tomorrow at the start of Sharpton's 3-day National Action Network convention. Christina Maurice?
Well, he does.
Y'all thought I was lying, didn't you? Y'all thought I was lying, didn't you? That man was a whole informant. Selling drugs to the feds. Working with the mob. And y'all got this man being your spokesperson.
How? Hold on, bro. How? Hey, yo, what the fuck?
Nigga, I'm leaving.
Another one.
Another one.
Another one.
Another one.
Another one.
Another one.
Y'all got this man being your spokesperson. Are y'all crazy? Are y'all crazy? You say this nigga helped Dr. King get him out my face? Yeah, he's getting millions. This is how you act. Hold on, my bad, La. This is how you act when you don't like the facts. I didn't make that stuff up. I'm telling you, I'm starting to suspect that some of these people are folks that I know. You can tell by the vitriol in the way that they typing. They either know me from Spaces, or they either know me in real life and they come over here with these fake names. Mr. Woe now, with no picture. Anyway. Saggy Star says, not trying to be funny because this came on my For You page, but I'm not a fan of either one of them. But I don't see nobody else stepping up at the end of the day if they want answers for their son. I'm not a fan of Ben Crump or Al Sharpton either. But there are plenty of other lawyers or people who can speak for you besides these two. Most black people have a tendency to go after these two because they're prominent, because they feel like they're going to get more attention. But more attention is not necessarily what you always need. You know, you want people, especially when it's your child. I want somebody who's going to give me the facts. I want people who's going to stick to the story, stick to the topic, not inject something that doesn't have anything to do with my child. I want to know what happened to my son. I don't want you around me if you're going to push an agenda. That's not what I want. Like, I'm legitimately worried about what really happened to my son. Yeah, they are trolls, Frankie. You're an angry guy. Chris Sean Washington says he's a lawyer. Damn, another brother down in another. Same hate. This is crazy. Why is that? Once again, some of these people feel like because I'm black that I have to just support somebody just because they black. Instead of me going off of reality and truth, no, we don't do that. You see black people, you support black people. And I'm going to throw this at you. This is what has us in the situation that we're in now. Just jumping off the rails, saying, oh, I'm just going to support somebody because they black. This is why our politics are terrible. Oh, it's a black politician. Oh, I don't care about policy. It's a black person. Vote for him. I'm going to get out. I'm going to hit the ground. I'm going to pass out these flyers simply because they black. Do you know anything about them? Not really. We just got to get this sister in office. We got to get this brother in office because he's going to do, and then they get in office and they don't do nothing. Or they get caught up in some scandal. You got to be careful with that type of stuff, man. People, they don't want to hear that stuff, but you have to be careful. You know, other groups, they actually hold people's feet to the fire when they want. Look at the Asian community. They have a very small population. But do you notice how sometimes they get certain bills passed? You're like, how did the Asians get something specifically for them? Because they go talk to the politicians. They demand things. They hold their feet to the fire. And they're serious. Most black people, we're not serious. We're not serious. And people know this. And they know that they're going to get our vote anyway. They know they're going to get our vote anyway. And look, I got to stop for, I'm going to play this clip, right? And I know that this is kind of off topic, and I know some people are probably going to leave because, you know, when you kind of get off topic, people leave, and I understand that. But I got to play y'all this clip. And I want y'all to hear what this woman is saying. And it's perfectly, it explains perfectly why most black people, especially in Texas, with these from Jasmine Crockett and others, you're not going to get what you want. Or why you think these parties, like the Democratic Party, is abandoning you and putting more behind Latino voters and white voters because they already know that they got your vote. So let me show you this real quick. I want y'all to listen to this woman.
Rico's refusal thus far to engage black electeds and the black infrastructure has put him at a disadvantage, absolutely, because there's not a lot of time to try to rally us. But we actually had a meeting today, Roland, early today, where black people, black thought leaders, elected officials from Dallas and Houston met, and we are getting together and we're going to stand together and hopefully Tallarico and the Texas Democratic Party will see that, and they will listen to us, because Tallarico has given out money to white GOTV organizations and white infrastructure, and Hispanic infrastructure, but he's not giving it to black infrastructure.
Why would he? Why would they do that? Y'all gonna sit up here and make videos like this and complain, and then when election day comes, guess what so many black people are gonna say when they catch them at the polls standing in line? I'm gonna hold my nose and I'm gonna vote for a Democrat. Tallarico is the candidate, so I'm gonna vote for Tallarico. Why waste their money? You're going to vote for him anyway. Damn. That shit is frustrating to me. And I know I'm off topic. I'm gonna get back on topic. But I'm just telling you. Why waste my money? I'm gonna put more money behind other groups that is kind of teetering a little bit. Or some people that's on the fringes that I can probably sway to come my way. Yeah, you black. You're going to be mad. You're going to be upset. You're going to make videos. You're going to go on Roland Martin's show. Y'all going to complain and bitch. And then when it shows up, guess what Roland and others are going to say? I can't vote for the Republicans because they're racist.
Try to say, oh, we're suggesting it was just an accident or drowning. Go ahead and move on. Well, they are not accepting it. They are not accepting it. They want to know that you have not taken the path of least resistance, that you have done a full, complete, thorough, impartial investigation.
Sorry. Exactly, Kim. Vote for the person that aligns with your political views. It's not hard. Divine, Democratic Party has done nothing for black people, and they still arrogantly expect their vote. And they're going to do it. Lunatic says we don't have candidates to vote for. They are taken off the ballot via the court systems by Democrats and Republicans. That's true. Not even just like that, but they steal elections, or they kind of throw a grenade into someone's campaign. Put out these stories about them to make people not want to vote. All of that. It's all true. It's all true. But back to this.
Cost. It cannot be lost on anybody, but especially us in the black community. If the roles were reversed and you had 3 young black men on a boat with a young white man, and that young white man ended up dead, what kind of investigation would be being conducted by the Mississippi law enforcement officials? How many times would those 3 young black men be interrogated?
Back to the Carmelo Anthony trial. When I said this, if Carmelo got stabbed by Austin, every black person would have wanted the death penalty. Every black person would have said that it was racist. Every black person would have wanted an investigation and said that Austin came up there with the intentions to kill him. But when we get to stuff like this, now they want you to be in their shoes. See it from our perspective. And I get it. But the thing is, why can't we see some of this stuff from other people's perspective? Why aren't we reasonable about some of this stuff? And I know I'm going to get hate. I always get hate from that, bro. I always get hate from that.
So all we're asking is the same consideration you would have given if the roles were reversed. Give that consideration to this family as well. That is our fight. The glaring contradictions just jump out at you. The fact that he is there with his friends, and you look at all the videos, it seems to be he's the only black on the island, or maybe one other, but not many. And so, Jared, you have where a young woman he was talking to says that, well, Nolan said he was going back to get on the boat with the boys.
Once again, those of y'all who are commenting in the chat, some of y'all comments I can't see. When I go back to my YouTube studio, I can see them all, but the program that I'm using, it's like it's not catching all of them. So if I don't see your comment, I apologize. I'm not doing it on purpose. It's just I'm not seeing it in real time, and I just don't want to go back and forth between my YouTube studio or whatnot. But yeah, if you're making a comment and you feel like I'm ignoring you, I'm not ignoring you. I apologize. Also, make sure y'all hit the like button. If y'all new over here, make sure y'all hit the subscribe button if you like the content. If you don't like the content, hey, it is what it is. But if you like the content, like the content. And if you want to subscribe, then subscribe to the channel. I appreciate it.
Boys say that Nolan told them he was going to stay and talk to the young woman. It's a contradiction. They're not saying the same thing. One of them is telling the truth, one of them is not. We have to get to the bottom of that. It's important.
Damn, I got to stop it again because this is a good comment. Lunatic says, I always tell people read books prior to 1900. Read the Federalist Papers and the Anti-Federalist Papers. You absolutely have said that in the chat before, but I also want to show you this because it was so funny because I came on, I saw this video. Do y'all not remember the video when Birdman was he was in the prison and an inmate said, man, we need more books. And Birdman said, what did he say? He said, man, you really think books is going to help you?
And that's the double workshop. The statement I agree 100%. We're not putting faults on nobody. All we asking for, we did the crime, yeah, someone has to do the time.
Watch this.
But now we are incarcerated now.
You ain't
With
going
the
to
mindset.
Ain't no disrespect to you, brother.
With the mindset.
Brian Williams, I help y'all.
We have no access to. Listen, we have no access to.
I have enough power to make that happen.
Okay, well, we need inside help for as literature.
He said we need help as far as literature.
These guys having books to read upon the criminal of the
So
law.
you think reading books from? I know different than reading books. We don't understand.
He said you think books is gonna. I'm like, anyway, back to the string. Y'all gotta forgive me. I got a little bit of ADHD. I'm sorry.
And then the fact, Reverend Al, that they have this video of an argument that is going on. And you know, thank God all young people, they have cell phones, and anytime you hear people raising their voice, they start the video. And so you hear on the video, Nolan saying, give me my freaking phone. What are you freaking doing? And that becomes even more relevant when you think about the story that they are presenting, that Nolan chose to stay behind. That's what they're saying. But
his phone, he wouldn't take that with him if he's going to stay behind on the island? I mean, we're talking about an 18-year-old kid. What teenager would leave their phone behind if they're going to stay on this island? What teenager wouldn't take their phone? And so it's not adding up.
Here's the video that he's talking about. And I'm telling you, I cannot make out what he said. He said that they were like, what did he say? Something about don't take my phone. You can't, whatever. Something about the phone. I can't remember. I'm sorry. So here's the video. Tell me if y'all can make this out, because I can't. How do they know that's Nolan? And how do they know that's his friends arguing with him? Do y'all see what I can't tell? Because they are really, to me, it's like y'all just making an assumption because y'all perceive that to be a black kid, that's obviously Nolan. But back to the audio. Let me play the audio. I can't hear I can't make out what they said. Can y'all make out what was said? Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. Don't nobody just leave their phone, Kim. Like, that, I agree. Not these kids. They ain't leaving no phones. But all of the other speculation is like, how are these people coming to these conclusions? There's no way y'all are coming to these conclusions. Now, this is a different. Now, she say, I go to a sandbar every weekend. I don't take my phone off the boat. I leave everything I can on the boat. I'm not a person who goes to the lake a lot. I do, but if I do, it's usually like on the shore. You know, just some swimming, something like that. I don't really get in boats and stuff. I'm not scared of boats. I don't, you know. So maybe that's a thing. But I don't think that these young kids usually just leave their phones. Say, how you getting it off the boat and it not getting wet? I don't know. They do have those little pouches that you can put your phones in, but I mean, I don't know. King Drake say, I feel you, and it may not be him, but it's for sure a black person. Of course. Of course they're going to always speculate. This is the truth. Civil War was about a multitude of things. It wasn't just slavery. That was a big part of it, but it wasn't just slavery. Let me see. I done been through everything. But yeah, y'all let me know what y'all think about these race hustles. Do y'all think that Al Sharpton, though, for those of y'all who are just over here, make sure y'all answer the poll that I have on the screen. Also answer the poll that's in the chat. But so far, 75% says that yes, Ben Crump and Al Sharpton are nothing more than race hustlers at this point. And I agree with that. I think they're just here for the bag. They're just here to gain publicity and notoriety, even though they don't need it, but they like that attention. They like that attention. Now, as far as these people being disingenuous, they are. I know Ben Crump is. He'll spend anything. He'll spend anything for a payday. Where money is involved, Ben Crump is there. You get killed, or if you die and it just so happen to be some white people around, Ben Crump is showing up. Ben Crump is showing up. You say go back to Terrence Wren video. Now, why I didn't pull up? Oh, I gotta find it. It's gonna pop up. I can't believe I didn't save it. How do you spell it? Terrence. Terrence. I put Terrence. Nah, I can't find the video. Let me go to my page and see if I got it in there. Let me try something else. Did I get that off of Facebook? You might have to send me the link to it. Oh, no, I found it. I got it right here. I got it.
Now, I wasn't going to make any more videos right now on 18-year-old Nolan Wells, saying that they put out a report yesterday saying that they did have some new details and they were just trying to get the time frame to line up in the last moments of 18-year-old Nolan Wells. So therefore, I was going to be patient to see what other details had came out, and I was just going to search the internet to see if anybody else dropped any more proof or any more details and such like that. But after hearing Attorney Ben Crump speak, I'm starting to wonder if Attorney Ben Crump is actually going with accurate information and or speculation or things that he's heard or seen on the internet. I know some people are already like, what? How can you say that about Attorney Ben Crump? Well, because to me, visually seeing things, it seems like that's exactly what he's doing, is running with things on the internet and not actual proof. And let me show you why I think that. And I'm not just going to tell y'all that's how I feel. I'm going to show y'all why I feel that way. And at the same time, we're going to go over some of these details again in the case of 18-year-old Nolan Wells. Yesterday, I was asking everybody to show me some proof or details where 18-year-old Nolan Wells' mom said that the friends had returned the phone to her. But I ended up finding a clip. Well, a guy posted a clip of the news yesterday that they did a news story yesterday. And they said where they found the 18-year-old Nolan Wells' phone as well as his keys. And I'm going to play that real quick and I'll be right back.
Returned to the mainland with the rest of the group. Authorities say his phone and keys were found on that boat.
Now, I got to add that I do find it suspicious that they just put that out yesterday evening. And before that, I couldn't find it anywhere. And I did a lot of digging and a lot of searching. Now, I'm not perfect at searching anything like that. And I am human. I do make mistakes and I do overlook things. But it is strange. Now, in case some of y'all did not see the interview with Attorney Ben Crump, I'll play some of the clips for y'all. But Attorney Ben Crump was saying that there's video footage of Nolan on the boat arguing with somebody. That means that that was verified and proven, if you could say it that way, because other than that, to me, it has not been proven that that was 18-year-old Nolan Wells that was arguing with anybody. In fact, our sister Ivy Elizabeth then already came out and said that that was her boat and that there was some guy on her boat that was on the boat with them and that...
See? That's why that video with them arguing, I'm like, how is people coming to the conclusion of what he said and who it was? Like I told y'all, I seen another video with somebody. You seen the video I just showed you? They circled some kids on the shore. I seen another video where they circled some kids that was in the water. That's why I said I give up. I give up.
And that he was arguing with somebody else, and the other person that was arguing and fighting with people, the fight was already over at 4, and that the fight and the argument did not involve 18-year-old Nolan Wells. And the reason why I feel like it's that video that he's speaking about is this. He even reposted that video where people was like, hey, it sounds like somebody saying get the F off my boat and this, that, and the third. It already came out from our sister Ivy Elizabeth right here, stating that that was a guy on their boat that was with them, and at the bottom down there you can see that she says the fight itself did not, however, involve Nolan himself, and she couldn't even tell y'all if Nolan was present in that area at the time either. Now, I know Attorney Ben Crump said they didn't hire an investigator and such like that and everything. I feel like they should have had that investigator go talk to our sister Ivy Elizabeth and find out the details and the information that she knew prior to him automatically stating that.
Mentioned earlier, there are some contradictions.
Yes.
What gives you confidence or perhaps concern about the investigation so far?
Well, the fact that they continue to tell the family that we don't see any evidence of any foul play, even though you have students who recorded an altercation while they were on the boats of argument where you had Nolan and somebody yelling at one another.
He says you got Nolan and somebody else yelling at one another. You said you want to be transparent. Can you show us the proof, please? We don't want to just see that video where all you can hear is voices, and then we have a sister claiming that it was her on the boat and then people that was on the boat with her that was in that argument, and it had nothing to do with 18-year-old Nolan Wells. Now, let's go over the contradiction. He says that he feels like exists. And him being an attorney, I feel like his mind should already be thinking about what I'm going to say after I play what he feels like is a contradiction.
Have the young lady make a statement, and she says, well, Nolan and I finished talking, and Nolan said he was going back to the boat. And then the boys on the boat said, no, Nolan told them he was going to stay with her. And so they are conflicting. She's saying he went and got on the boat. They saying he didn't get on the boat. So which is it? And all we know is Nolan is dead.
That does not automatically mean that the stories conflict, and him being a major attorney, he should already know this. There's no way that my mind should be able to think about this, but his isn't. We all know that everybody is speculating on the time frame that they feel like everything happened. The only way you know an exact time frame of something occurring is by a photo and or a video that was taken. Other than that, we all know that the time frame is all up to speculation. So therefore, let's say that those boys had asked Nolan to go ahead and to get on the boat with them, and asked 18-year-old Nolan Wells to go ahead and to get on the boat with them, and Nolan was like, no, I'm gonna go ahead and hang back with her. I'm finna chill with her and hang out and spend some time with her. Then that would mean that that occurred prior to 18-year-old Nolan Wells having that conversation in that time with Katie. We already know when the said-to-be best friend of 18-year-old Nolan Wells' friend Javon Williams grabbed his phone and that he had left, he stated that he saw 18-year-old Nolan Wells with the girl as well as chatting with some friends. So therefore we know Katie was still right there at that time that Javon Williams had left, since that he seen that he was still hanging with a girl. As I said before, there's a good chance that right at that time, because Javon Williams said that he left shortly after 4. It said that the boys left at 4:30, correct? So if it said that Javon Williams was leaving around a little bit after 4 and that those boys left around 4:30, it would make sense to me that that was the time that when those boys was telling 18-year-old Nolan Wells to go ahead and get on the boat, that's the time and that's the instant that that would have occurred. It says to me that those boys would have asked prior for 18-year-old Nolan Wells to get on that boat prior to him leaving off and going to go talk to Katie and walking with Katie and spending that time with Katie or whatever they ended up doing. And then you would have 18-year-old Nolan Wells and Katie talking, hanging, whatever they are doing and such like that and everything. So then, after they're done talking and such like that, and this is very strange and this is very weird to me, but Katie says that, well, it said that Katie says that after she was done talking with 18-year-old Nolan Wells, he said that he was going to head back to the boat with his friends. Now, if there's a conflict with stories being told, this is where the conflict tends to come in at for me, because I'm not understanding this. It's now being said that Katie's mom and dad allegedly are the ones that picked up Katie from the island, and then that's when her and Nolan basically said their goodbyes, and 18-year-old Nolan Wells was saying that he was just finna head back over there to the boat with his friends. Katie is said to have gotten on the boat with her mom and dad, but at the same time, we've all seen that post that's said to be from the sister of Katie, Gracie, when she put it out and said that her brother and sister-in-law went to go pick up Katie. I'm sure Attorney Ben Crump wouldn't post something that he did not go check or check into the information to make sure that it was accurate or anything like that. But there's a repost over there from some girl over there that's spritzing herself and being disrespectful to 18-year-old Nolan Wells' story at the same time. And she's claiming that the mom and the dad spun around the island and had picked Katie up from the island. And I'm sure that Ben Crump wouldn't just post that without checking into that information to make sure it was accurate.
Of course he would. It fits his narrative. It backs up his story.
Accurate that the mom and the dad had picked Katie up, right? But why is the sister said to be Katie saying that Katie was safe because my brother and sister-in-law went and got her? So it's either Ben Crump is posting something that's inaccurate by having something over there saying that the mom and the dad is the ones that picked up Katie, and or the sister saying that the brother and the sister-in-law going out there to pick up Katie is incorrect, and or did they head out there to pick up Katie and that Katie wasn't there? Nonetheless, there's a conflict right there, because it's being said that the mom and the dad picked her up, and it is being claimed by the sister that it was the brother and the sister-in-law. Nonetheless, regardless of who picked up Katie, if somebody picked up Katie, and if 18-year-old Nolan Wells was left to start heading back over there to the docks or to the place where they parked the boat at out there on the island, if he was headed back over there, that means that 18-year-old Nolan Wells, there's a gap right there where he's by himself. Which means that somebody could have saw him by himself and did something to 18-year-old Nolan Wells, because I don't feel like 18-year-old Nolan Wells just chose to go jump in the water and was swimming in the Riptide area by himself when there's plenty of people to swim with out there. But then that would still mean that 18-year-old Nolan Wells never made it back over there to his friends, which means that Katie's story could be accurate, as well as those boys' story could be accurate, as well as somebody could have did something to 18-year-old Nolan Wells on his way back to try to rendezvous with them boys. And
if that is what happened, once again, if that is what happened, we don't know if that what happened, but if that is what happened, Ben Crump, Al Sharpton, they're just going to disappear. They're just going to disappear because that doesn't fit their narrative. They can't blame it on these boys, the friends. They can't blame it on them. They're going to be out. No more talking about Nolan Wells, no more nothing. Just gone. Just disappear.
In the beginning, I said if people follow Katie, they would be able to get answers, and I still feel that way because I still feel like Katie was the last person out of all of the people that we've been speaking about to see 18-year-old Nolan Wells alive. She may not even know that she was the last person to see 18-year-old Nolan Wells alive. I'm not saying that Katie did something to him. I'm not saying that his friends did something to him. But I'm saying something happened to 18-year-old Nolan Wells. There's a gap right there where 18-year-old Nolan Wells was by himself. And not only that, who's to say that if 18-year-old Nolan Wells made it back over there to where the boat was at, that boat was still there, as it said that the boys' boat started taking on water. So who knows if those boys had to go ahead and leave or chosen to go ahead and leave and was no longer there. And when Nolan Wells made it back over there, maybe they weren't there. Now, allegedly, it said that Katie said that Nolan had made it back safely on the boat with his friends, but I'm curious, if your mom and dad or your brother and sister-in-law picked you up, how would you then be able to comfortably say that you know for sure that 18-year-old Nolan Wells made it back to that boat with his friends? Just because you leave somebody and you last know them to be walking in a direction does not mean that you know that they safely made it. I am happy to see that Attorney Ben Crump does have private investigators involved, as well as he did send the body over to be able to get the autopsy done, and it should be done, he said, on Friday, so hopefully they release more information then. But I do feel like Attorney Ben Crump should have dug into some of that information that he has sitting over there on his pages before he put that information on his pages. Now, I don't know if he did dig into it. I don't know if he knows about Ivy Elizabeth and what she said about that argument video he has reposted over there. And no, I don't know if he knows about the post from said to be Katie's sister Gracie saying that the brother and the sister-in-law came to pick her up, but then the video.
No, you know how people operate. When they read information and they hear things that agrees with them, or if it's something that they like, they stop. Oh, okay, this coincides with what I was thinking. That's it. I don't need to go do any more research. I don't need to go double check what was said. That's it. This is exactly what I thought right here. Boom. That's it. I don't need to check nobody else's pages. You know, even though the mom is probably linked to the sister and the brother-in-law, and I don't need to check all of that. I'm just going, boom. I got this information. That's it. I'm good. It fits what I think happened. That's it. That's it.
Video he got reposted over there says that the mom and the dad had picked up Katie. Right now, I feel like Ben Crump is looking at this as skin color as well as past situations that didn't occur. But every situation is a new situation and cannot be deemed the same.
I've said it all the time on her. Everything is nuanced. You know, people, they argue with me about that. Well, this case is like this case and that case is like this case. Is like, no, everything is nuanced. Like, just talk about the facts of that case. Just talk about the facts of that situation and how that went down, and just go with that. Stop trying to put it on, well, you know, this happened in this state and it went down like this, so why isn't it the same over here? Well, these are two different situations, two different people, two different age groups, two different settings, two different set of circumstances.
So you have to be able to keep an open mind in order to treat it differently. Even though you might see some of the same characteristics, you can focus on those same characteristics, but keep an open mind to new characteristics and changes. And in this situation, I feel like those boys' story saying that they were asking 18-year-old Nolan Wells to get on the boat, and he wouldn't get on the boat and said he wanted to hang out with Katie, and then he hung out with Katie, and Katie said that she separated from 18-year-old Nolan Wells, and Nolan Wells was supposed to be on his way back with his friends. Both of them can be accurate. 18-year-old Nolan Wells just might not have made it back to those friends.
Man, if that happened, I want y'all to hear me. If that is what happened, where it didn't have nothing to do with those boys, nothing to do with that girl, man, it is going to be silence. It is going to be silence for days. This story is going to disappear. Nobody in the media is going to talk about it. I promise you, I know it. Because everybody's going to have egg on their face. They're not going to come out, well, we was wrong about this. Well, we apologize to these young men. Nobody is going to do that. They're going to be even madder. They're going to be even more pissed off, that these three boys wasn't involved. They're going to be even more pissed off. Well, we're not getting the whole story. We're not getting this. They leaving this out. It's going to turn into more speculation, just like with the Anthony case. With the Anthony case, the video came out and people was, well, they cut this out the video. We missing this. It's not clear. It's not clear, but oh yeah, I saw this definitively. What you saw is bullshit. What I saw is definitively. It's why I always say, like, at some point, some of these people, you cannot even argue with them. You can't reason with them. You can't just be a a reasonable human being with some of these people because they don't like the facts. Once the facts don't fit what they gotta say, they get pissed off and they talk. Then it's when it go to ad hominems. You a coon. You a dumbass. You stupid. You ain't making no sense. You sound like an idiot. Instead of just saying, I was wrong. You was right. What you said was more accurate than what I said. Once again, see, here we go. Vanessa Smith, hush, silly black man. This is coming from a black woman. Proving my point again. When I always tell y'all that I get more hate from people that look like me than I do anybody else. People that look like me swear up and down that I hate black people, but I can't. It's like, because I don't agree with them, I lose all rights to speak. I lose all rights to have an opinion. So I'm not a part of the black community anymore because I don't say what they want to say. I'm out. My opinions don't mean nothing. Whatever she says goes.
Which says to me that if something happened to 18-year-old Nolan Wells, and if Katie is telling the truth that she separated from 18-year-old Nolan Wells and he was supposed to be on his way back to his friends, something darn well happened to 18-year-old Nolan Wells while he was on his way back to try to rendezvous with his friends. There's no guarantee that he made it back. Which still says to me that Katie would have been the last person out of the names that we know of that would have seen 18-year-old Nolan Wells alive.
Ain't that what I said? Is that not what I said on my stream? Everybody was focused in on them kids, but they said that she was the last person that he was seen with. I was thinking that's the person that they should focus in on. I didn't say she was guilty of anything. I just said that that's the person that they should focus in on. Just saying she should be getting asked a lot of questions. She should be under a lot of scrutiny. But people are still focused on them boys because that's the narrative. 3 white boys, 1 black kid. They killed him. You say critical thinking is a dying skill? On this side over here, with me, they don't want to hear that shit. That's an irrelevant. I don't get to have critical thinking. You know that? I'm black. I don't get to be a critical thinker. I got to do group think. Everybody said that they guilty? Hey, you look like us. Say it. Say it. Say it. You better say it. Ah, you a coon. You a coon. Let me show you something. Since I'm a coon. This is how y'all sound right here. All y'all that call me a coon. Oh, I've been wanting to show y'all this for a long time. This is how all of y'all sound right here. Every black person that want to call me a coon. This is how you sound.
What you got there, gal? Oh, I uses them to clean the windows, sir. You thought I was reading these fancy papers? Oh, no, sir. I know you's got to tell me how to think, sir. I knows better not to read this. And I remember you told me if I don't do what you told me to do, that means I ain't black. And I was just as black as the day is long, sir. Yes, indeed. You been using them words we taught you. Oh, yes, sir. I uses them words loud, proud, and strong. Anytime one of them highfalutin Negroes come around here telling me to read some kind of fancy paper for myself, I calls them coon and bootlickers. I sure do, sir. And the rest of them around this plantation, they been saying another word. They said sellout. I know you ain't teach it to me, sir, but it sounded awful fancy, so I decided to use it for myself. I got some new words. Oh, yes, sir. I was learning real good. What is this, sir? It's dictator, fascist, and Nazi. Oh, okay. Dictator, Fascist. Nazi. Okay,
that's
sir. Those sound awful fancy, sir. What they mean?
Don't matter what they
You
mean.
right, sir. You right, sir. Pardon. I get ahead of myself. I know that I shouldn't ask you nothing. I know that you tell me what's best, sir. Don't matter what they mean. Just matters that you told me to say them, and I got to learn them real good. Yes, sir.
You got them leftovers?
Oh, yes, sir. We got them leftovers. We sure mighty obliged for them, sir. Yeah, our Overseer Crockett, Overseer Obama, and Overseer Waters told us you sent them, sir. Because we wouldn't be able to get by without your handouts and your program, so we can't do it on our own. And they make sure they remind us of that, sir. Yes, indeed, they do. We got some more leftovers coming, on the first? Oh, thank you, sir. Oh, thank you, sir. Because they even told us, they talking about we got to get some identification. And we knows we can't do that on our own. We's not smart enough. We need you,
That's
sir.
right.
That's right, sir. I appreciate you for dropping by here, letting us know that you're still thinking about us, sir.
All
It's
right,
all
then.
for good. All right, sir. Thank you for dropping by. Okay. Look away, look away, look away, Dixie Lane.
That's how y'all sound. When y'all try to come at me, that's exactly how y'all sound. That's exactly how y'all sound. But hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. You say, why should a citizen need ID to vote? That's so dumb. I think you need to have an ID to vote, Kim. It's not hard to have an ID, especially with them letting so many ambitions laughing. With them letting so many I didn't go there. Yeah, I went there. Yeah, especially with them letting so many illegal immigrants over here. And it's been known that they're voting. Yeah, we need to double check that you are a American citizen. We need to know that. We need to know that. And we can say, oh, well, they have it already. All you need to do is go down there and just prove. Well, the proof to prove who you are when you go down there to vote should be an ID. So all of the people who act like black people don't have IDs, that's a lie. Once again, like I said before, I've taken plenty of cousins and relatives to go buy Swisher Sweets, to go buy beer, to go to the club. And you know what? Them Negroes always got an ID. You know that? They don't have no job. They don't have no car. But they got an ID. That's why I was like them other folks. I don't know too many black people that don't have an ID. I remember all through high school and college, people ride with me going to the club. They had an ID. They want to get in that club, bro. They want to smoke them blunts. They want to buy that drink. They want to go to the liquor store and get them something good to drink. They are going to have that ID. That's a lie. That black folks got an ID. Shit. What that guy say? Shit. On the wire? Shit. They got an ID. That's right. Can't cash checks. No beer, no gigs, no blunts, no club, no signing up for renting a home. They got it. They got it. They got it. That's why I'm not against that, having an ID. Because we know that illegals can't get that. So we need to, when you come down here talking about voting, we need to know that you say you are who you are. You say you know plenty of places you can cash a check without an ID. If they going down there cashing checks with IDs, they a fool. And two, if you cashing a check at a store or something, look, it ain't hard to go down to the bank and get an account. You can go get an account, bro. That don't cost you nothing. They just want you to put your money in their bank or in their credit union. That ain't nothing. You like Omar? Here come Omar! Here come Omar! Here come Omar! Everybody running and shit. Omar! There go Omar! There go Omar! Bro, the wild used to be a trip. Oh my God. Yeah, cash and checks at a store is crazy. Bro, y'all already know I told you about me calling ICE. This damn store right across the street got all them illegals cashing them checks. Matter of fact, today, Friday, they was just over there. I done called the ICE on them so many times. They done been over there once. They right back over there. You say you'll be glad when they retire the phrase crazy work. That ain't gonna stop. They ask you for ID to buy Sudafed. Yeah. You know these Negroes got an ID. Oh, man. But yeah, y'all make sure y'all answer the poll. Let me check my chat real quick. I asked in the chat, I said, are you a subscriber to the channel? And that's why I put that last one in there, because I knew somebody was going to answer. Out of 240 votes, 240, it was 71% said no. So that's pretty good. I like that. Okay. A lot of y'all wasn't a subscriber, so I hope y'all subscribed. Out of 240 people, the 71% who said they weren't subscribers, I hope y'all turn into a subscriber. The 20% that are subscribers, I appreciate y'all for being here. And the 10% that said, man, I would never. You say, man, I would never.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care. Let me tell you, we don't care.
Go away. Go bathe yourself in the waters of Lake Minnetonka. Bye. Be gone with you. I'm trying to think of a phrase from Game of Thrones because I've been watching that too. They didn't have me talking like I'm back in those times. I'm talking to myself in my head. Let me stop. But yeah. I hope y'all enjoyed the show today. I hope y'all like the content. I think I've been giving y'all some videos for the last about a week and a half so far consistently. I hope I can keep this up. Y'all know I change it up. I'll start doing more uploads. And who knows what I'll do, man. If y'all new to this channel, just like the videos and subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell, because I'm one of those people. If you like me, you really need to turn on the notification bell, because you don't know what the hell I'm going to do. I might wake up one morning and say, I'm going to go live. It'll be like 9 o'clock in the morning. I might be busy all day and come home and play the game and cook me something to eat, and it'll be 1 o'clock in the morning, and I'll say, well, damn, let me go live. And you just might be up. So I would just say turn it on. And for those of y'all who do subscribe, look, you're not going to like everything I say. Whether you agree with me today, you probably won't agree with me tomorrow. I feel like that's okay. But if you feel like I should agree with you every time, then this ain't the channel for you. It's not. It's just not. I mean, it's just not. But if you feel like, oh yeah, I like this guy, he's cool, I can agree with him sometime, go for it. Your oldest daughter looked like a Valerian with her hair. She got gray hair. They need to make me a Valerian with a gray beard. We could be like a special type of Valerian. Everybody got gray beards. Or salt and pepper. You subscribe? I appreciate you subscribing, Divine Truth.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
I appreciate that. Everybody who subscribe, I appreciate that. You say in the Game of Thrones, you win or you die. That's how it's been ever since it started, huh? What they say when they take over something? Well, you know I gotta take out somebody's head. I gotta make an example out of somebody. You know it, you know. And the nigga be sitting there like,
What the oh shit.
hey, I gotta take out somebody. The people gotta see it. I'm sorry. I don't hate you. But they gotta see it. Damn, me? Oh, man. You finna hack me up in front of everybody? Jesus. Can I just go away? Can y'all banish me? No. We're gonna pull out this tremendously what is it, like a fucking, what is that, Valerian steel? Yeah, the Valerians, they are inbred. That shit crazy. Now that really fucked me up. That whole inbred, that was, man, you know, that is rampant on this show. Like, everybody is knocking down their sister and their auntie. I'm like, yeah, we gotta keep it in the family. Yeah, but you got a fat ass. Okay, we can be, we can rule. All right. Yeah, I gotta hit that. Damn, my cousin, my sister. But my sister look good. Yeah. We gonna run the show. Yeah. That's how I'm rocking like that. It's all good. Yeah. I gotta hit that. That's right. Appreciate everybody who subscribed to the channel, man. Yeah, you're right. Agreeing all the time is boring and leaves no room for learning. That's a fact. No, that's a fact. Also, back to that point, y'all be careful. Y'all subscribe over here. Be careful when y'all in the chat, because sometimes I'm just reading comments, and I admit I have been wrong on some occasions. But sometimes I'll just be reading comments, and maybe your comment come in late, or you're behind on the show, and I'll just go off on you. So charge it to my head and not my heart, and just say, hey man, hey look, that's not what I meant. Or, no, I was talking about this situation. So just correct me. Because people know I'll see something and you probably not even talking to me. You may be talking to somebody in the chat and I see that. I'm like, oh, they talking to me? And I just lose it. So y'all just got to forgive me. And, I gotta stay out the comments too. I really do. That's why I haven't been reading too many comments. Even though I said I'm going to stop reading comments. But I haven't been reading too many comments. Because I'm not an ignorant person. If I'm passionate about something, I'm talking, and then you may just comment that you're not even talking to me, and I see it, and I feel like you talking to me in that moment, what did you say? And I apologize. And people know I have told them, I'm sorry. I was wrong in that case. Forgive me. I'm sorry. I misunderstood. It is what it is. Senorita Carlos says, I got you, brother. I'll subscribe. Shoot, I've been here for an hour. I might as well. I didn't vote on the poll, but I got you. I appreciate it.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
Everybody who is subscribing, I appreciate y'all. But yeah, I just have to I always have to throw that disclaimer out for so many people. Because this ain't one of them channels where you're going to come over here and get the same. You know how some people, well, most of the because that's the way this YouTube thing works. That's how the popular people get on. They talk about the same thing all the time. They talk about that same, they'll make a video, do another video about it, I can't do that. My ADHD won't let me. I'll talk about something in politics, then I'll talk about social, then I'll talk about black people, then I'll talk about white people. Basically, I'm all over the place. So if you're one of those people who like, nah, I ain't rocking like that, I don't blame you, and you don't have to be here. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to turn my notifications on. You don't even have to subscribe, because I really would just like to have people who's here who want to be here. If you want to be here and just check out the content for what it is, whenever you pull up, just do that. But all the people who have come through and been like, we talking about this again, or you ain't talking about this ain't the channel for you. This ain't the channel for you. Cause I'm a random person. Just random. The popular stuff, I'll talk about it. But then you may be like, damn, he ain't gonna talk about it tomorrow. And I won't talk about it. I'll be talking about something else. And if you do like me and I'm talking about something that you don't like, just don't watch the show. Just move on. You don't gotta come over here and shit on me. You don't gotta try to shut the show down or anything. Just, hey, I'm not into that topic right there. Moving on. I'll go watch somebody else, or I'll go do something else. And I respect that as well. Because this is a free country, and I love being in a free country. You can do whatever it is that you want to do. You can have your own opinions. And I can do the same as well. I can do the same as well. You say, hell no, disagreement is not right or wrong, it's understanding. It ain't mine or Rod's fault because we Republican. Y'all just got to figure shit out. Lead a horse to water, can't make your ass drink. That's the truth. You can lead somebody, but you can't make them drink. Yeah, prayers out to Nolan Wells' parents. Once again, I do send my condolences out to his parents. You know, I understand where they're coming from. I don't have nothing against them. It's the race hustlers. It's the people who are speaking for these people who I really have I don't like them. They have a right to feel the way that they feel. I'm not going to say that. Like, oh, they shouldn't think, no. I mean, they're the parents. Everything should be on the table for them. Everything. But yes, I appreciate everybody who came through and watched the show. I appreciate y'all for checking out the content. I appreciate y'all for enjoying the content. I appreciate everybody who commented, liked, and all of those good things. Even if y'all shared the video, I appreciate that. So, with that being said, man, I'm going to end the show. I'll catch y'all next time. Tomorrow, I'm going to try to have some guests on. So if you want to come through. Check it out. And it is what it is. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace.